Hello loves, Darkside back again with another GTA 5 and GTA Online updated version. It's no longer the expanded and enhanced. They pulled that out of there. I should have known because they didn't mention it one time, expanded and enhanced in the whole thing on the Rockstar Newswire yesterday. If you guys want to check out the video that I put up yesterday, it explains everything in detail. We talk about it and still trying to figure out a few things. But I got some bad news though, man. I really think what's gonna happen is I think that if you're on an Xbox Series S or X on a PlayStation 5, seriously? I don't think we're gonna be able to play together with the old gen players. I don't think it's gonna happen because like some people were talking to me about this last night. We were giving our opinions on it. They're like, no, you should still be able to, and I don't see how because. There are a bunch of paragraphs that specifically state, and for our Xbox Series X and S players and PlayStation 5 players, you can do this.
How can I help?
And for the, for our Xbox Series S and X players and PlayStation 5 players, you can do that. So they specifically say those things. So what I'm trying to say is, why would they say that specifically? You think it would say all players? I mean, I could just be overanalyzing just a little bit, but I don't think so. Well, because they say there's going to be new weather, new vehicles, new what's the other stuff I was looking at? There's going to be new explosions, new detail to the explosions, new foliage, new road. Like I guess it says new road roughness or something like that. I don't even know what the hell that meant. But so for example, if I'm on a new Xbox Series X, right? And the update comes out, and there's supposed to be like a mini update with it, like the House import thing. And if you don't know who How is, he's like this, he's like an Asian guy that's in story mode. He's friends with Franklin. He's actually one of the Strangers and Freaks missions you gotta do when you first start the game. And you gotta race him and beat his time, or whatever. It's one of the things you have to do. So, he's gonna be in it, but if he brings a bunch of new cars into the game, the new paint jobs and the liveries or whatever that aren't able to be accessed on old gen consoles, how would that work? How would that work if I have a brand new paint job with a brand new car that's not accessible in the old gen console, and I pull up to my buddy who's like still in the old gen console, and what is he gonna see? He can't see it because you can't view it on the old gen console. So how would that work? So the only way that it would possibly work is if they're not going to allow us to play together. Old gen and new gen, it's not going to work.
Hello?
That's what I'm thinking from everything that I've gathered from it yesterday, from analyzing it and looking over and reading everything, reading all the summaries. Like I said, there's certain things that they say specifically, and for our Xbox Series X and S players and PlayStation, you could do this. You know what I mean? It doesn't say everybody. So I'm really wondering what's going to happen with all that if we're going to be able to play with our friends. And that sucks, man, because most of my friends don't even have the new console yet. Like, I only got it like maybe like 2 week and a half, 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago now. I love it. It's really nice. But I kind of think maybe I should have waited to get the new console and save my money and let it drop down a little bit. But I only got it strictly for this purpose, pretty much. I mean, I play other games, but like mostly because they're like, oh, you need it. It's a ploy, dude. It's a scam almost, because they're forcing you to have to get the new console. It's kind of bullshit. Like, it's almost with the 360 and the Xbox One. When those came out, like, you could still play the game, but you can't access all the new features and the new the new visuals and the new graphics and everything. But you could still play it. You know what I mean? Like, how long did they let you stay on 360 for? You just couldn't access a lot of the things, like the heists and the, businesses and things like that on 360. So, it's going to be the same type of thing. They're kind of forcing you to have to get the new console or one of the new consoles. The good thing about it is your money will come with you, all in-game money, properties, vehicles. They say that'll be transferred to your name or transferred to you as long as you switch over and everything. And you could also cross-switch, like cross-platform switch. Supposedly, that's what I'm picking up on. Like, if you're an Xbox One player and you want to switch to PlayStation or whatever, or vice versa, you want to switch back to Xbox if you're a PlayStation player, you can keep your level and switch over. You just can't keep shark card money. You can only keep in-game money that you've earned and properties. But they're supposedly going to be able to let you keep your properties, your houses, you know, like the vehicles, like the Kasatka and all the Terabyte. That's supposed to all follow you. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, yeah, man. My expectations went from like a 10 to like a 2 after reading everything yesterday. And this new start menu that they're gonna have, to where you're able to access all, like, they kind of doing this. They do that with Red Dead. If you ever played Red Dead and you press start and go to online, it gives you like, there's like 15 different options to choose from. Moonshine Shack. You can go to your Moonshine Shack. You can go to your camp. You can go do a legendary bounty. You can go do a call to arms. It's gonna kind of be similar to that. I think that they kind of did. We're testing it out with Red Dead, and now that's what they're going to be doing. So, which it is a cool way to load in. It saves you a lot of time having to go back to story mode and, you know, or the creator and all that. So it's, you know, if you want to invite only lobby, maybe you could do that through there. So that might save you a little bit of time, you know. But anyway, I'm not too impressed so far. They've showed some screenshots. Nothing I'm blown away by, but then again, they took a picture of the back of the Vinewood sign. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? Give us something a little bit better. This is supposed to have, you know, for the Series X, you're supposed to have like ray tracing and all these fancy 4K and all that, and it's supposed to be in 60 FPS and, you know, all that stuff. Like, I think GTA Online right now runs at 30, or supposed to be running at 30, and it barely runs at 30, I think. They said it runs at like 15 or 12. So that's what I've heard from people. Because they have a monitor, like a thing they can monitor it and see what the frame rate is. You know, maybe if you're on PC it might, but can you imagine it running in 60 and staying in 60? Like, you wouldn't have any lag, no glitchiness, nothing. And even now, like, I notice my console now, it's less laggy and glitchy, but it still does every once in a while, but that must be the game. That must be the frame rates in the servers and shit. You know, that's got to be what that's the problem with that. It's got to be. So, because, like, I've noticed it's less laggy and less glitchy, and, you know, I can't wait for the new graphics to come. I want to see how that looks, especially I have a 4K TV, and it's supposed to be 4K visuals or whatever, and it's supposed to be something called, for us, for Xbox, not 3D sound, it's called,
I can do that.
Spatial sound, I think, which is probably, like, a really fancy, just a fancy 3D sound. You know, explosions, different road changes, things like that. NPC, like the, what do they call it? You know, the people running around and stuff like that around the city and driving around. They're supposed to be upgraded. It says, like, an increased amount. We don't want an increased amount of fucking cars on the road, dude. Like, it's bad enough alright when you have to PvP right now and you get run over 2 or 3 times in a row by an NPC because they get scared and freak out. Like, that shit drives me nuts, dude. You know, but I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Check out my video last night. I put it up on a live stream and I went over everything in detail. But that's kind of the bottom line, man. I'm thinking that you know, that we're not going to be able to play with the old gen consoles. Some people were saying that I'm wrong, and that's fine, that's their opinion, but I think personally it just wouldn't work. You know, because you're going to be viewing this weather now. How are they going to do that and everybody see it and not be able, like, people that old gen console people, what would they see if they can't visualize it and see it because it's their console rather can't see it. It won't let them see it. What are they going to be seeing? You know, I pull up, like I said, in a brand new car with this new nice fancy paint job, and I pull up next to one of my friends. They're not going to be able to see the paint job, you know, because their game can't handle it. Like, I don't understand that. So that's what makes me think they're going to keep it separate and we're not going to be able to play together. So, but anyway, guys, if you have any questions or comments, hit me up. If you have any ideas or maybe something that I could be wrong on, I don't know. It's, by the way, it is coming out on the 15th, but you can pre-order it. They still haven't even given us a damn price, dude, on how much this is going to be. But anyway, you're supposed to be able to start downloading it and pre-ordering it on the 8th to download it. And then the physical copies are not coming out until April. So my recommendation is probably just download it, because you're going to have to download it anyway. You know, once you get the CD, it should download. Like, I have the CD for GTA 5, and I had to download it regardless. So I'm guessing they're probably going to have, like, some kind of a package where you can get GTA 5 and online probably together, kind of like Red Dead. I think it was like $30 for both. Back around Thanksgiving, I bought Red Dead Online for $9.99, but I just got Red Dead Online. You know, but it could have let me buy both if I wanted to. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you think I'm right or wrong on this. So hopefully I am wrong, but I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to play with other old gen players. So, all right, guys, talk to you soon.